since I was 10, I kept asking him if I could go. Didn't really know what I was getting into at all, but I just really wanted to hang out with my dad, I think. It was just sort of healing to me.
I knew I wanted to get on a boat. I met some fishermen up there, and they were coming to town to unload, and then they need to leave. And, so we stuck at the cannery, so I wanted to go out on the boats. And so when I got back to Bellingham, I just walked the docks, and I thought it would be a little easier because I've worked in the canneries and had a little bit of experience with the industry a little bit. But yeah, it was tougher than I thought. So kind of just kept pounding the docks and got passed off to a few different people and ended up in Seattle and got a hold of Mark, my skipper now, and pestered him enough until he gave me the job.
I heard about fishing down in Mexico when I was traveling, and I just went out to Seattle, pounded the docks, and got lucky and got on the Quandary with Tom Pollock. He gave me my first chance. I've been doing it ever since. I got my 2 older brothers into fishing.
I was kind of almost forced into it. I was going to go when I was 12, and I put it off, and I was 13. I was packed and ready to go, and then we kind of had a little fight at the house, and I said I wasn't going. So finally when I was 14, I decided to go and spend time with Onyx and my dad, and I didn't really like it the first 2 years I was up here. It was kind of hard not having any friends really, and everybody being older, but I love it now.
Have I ever worked on a boat with a woman? Yes, I have, and at times it's pretty excruciating.
Have you ever worked or hired a female on a boat?
No, I have never done either.
Would you hire a female?
You've got bitching about weather.
Yeah, I worked with a couple of chicks in California, and oh, it's fine. Sometimes they bicker. They like to, they're chicks, they gossip.
Crewed with them and had them work for me, and I like it.
I worked on the boat with another female, and it was okay. I have a lot more respect for females
Hold on.
hear stories about, but
Hold
no,
on,
it was good.
second.
It was wonderful.
Uno momento.
You've got the bitch about dirty laundry.
Yeah, I've worked the majority of my years with a female, my sister Carmen and my sister Hannah. The bitchin' workers.
You got tampons in the toilet. Those are always fun.
Oh, my wife wouldn't want me to have a female on the boat. Not after I had her on the boat. Because she knows.
I don't know, working with 2 other girls on deck the other day was interesting. Just, that changed the dynamic as far as like communicating and, just how we expressed ourselves and, talk to each other and explain things.
I don't think so. I hear sometimes that when you have 2 girls on a boat, you can have like a girls against guys situation.
And they have sex with a lot of people. It's really love.
Yeah, besides the, sometimes physical strength, but they're good. I've actually made 1 set in my career without a girl.
Do you think women are equal to men on a boat?
Definitely. Yeah, I'd say so. The only thing that may not be equal is strength-wise sometimes, but as far as working goes, I think that we work just as well. I mean, I was 14 piling lead line while guys are 50 sometimes piling lead line, so
right.
Definitely.
I got to kind of say I look at women as equals on the boat, unless they're being dumbasses.
I think at first, a lot of people say they like having a female around because it kind of changes the mood a little bit, and the guys act maybe a little bit more civilized and respectful or whatnot. But I think that quickly changes after you've been around for a while.
I don't, there's some women can handle it, and granted, there's some that can handle it, but.
I think what matters more is if they're a good crew member or not, and that's what really affects it. It could be a guy or girl, you work together, if you get the job done, then it's done.
So you'll hear one of them will take you aside and want to talk about the other one, but overall it's pretty cool deal having chicks on the boat, because you got a girl on the boat, you you know, he can't be outworked by a girl. So I think everybody kind of tries a little harder when there's a chick on the boat.
And usually they're not as interested in mechanics. So when we're changing oil, you know, they're usually making some cookies, keeping the morale up.
You've got a menstruation that happens quite often, more often than not, in fact.
If you had the opportunity, if you had the opportunity
kid.
now to hire a female, if you were out of a crew and a gal was fished for 4 years, came out of the boat, last week to go, would you hire her?
I'd hire.
What would your wife say?
She'd say go for it.
I would like to say yes, but I think that you know, there are definitely things that are a little bit harder, you know, for me. Like, I guess physically, you know, would be a big thing. But you know, I like the fact, and I guess I pride myself on the fact that, you know, we are all pretty much doing the same thing. So, you know, but there are definitely times where a little more muscle would come in handy.
They're not exactly equal in life, so I don't see what about them being equal on a boat would be any different. Things are heavy. They can't lift as much as the man, obviously.
They're not always. They can't do some of the physical stuff, which there's not that much physical shit to do. So they might say, hey, come lift this 5-gallon bucket of oil, but anything more than that, I don't think that they really have that much of a problem doing.
They're not as strong, obviously, not like a man, but they're quick, and if they know their shit, they can pay attention really well and notice stuff, and they're perfectionists too, also. Most women.
I think girls are absolutely equal on a boat. We have to do everything that the guys do. But sometimes you get in a situation where it's nice having a little bit of boy muscle around.
If you haven't noticed, I'm a man, so I have muscles right there. Women don't have those. At least they're a lot smaller if they do.
Would you take your daughter on the boat when she wanted to go when she was 15?
Yes.
Would you worry about the rest of the crew?
No.
What if she was 22?
Would I act different if a chick was on board or a female was on board? Absolutely not. I'm a chauvinist 100% of the time, and basically you don't come fish around here for a compliment, if you know what I'm saying.
I'd take her.
Would you worry about the rest of the crew?
I wouldn't worry about the rest of my crew, no. But, you know, you'd have to worry about other people's crews.
I don't hold back for the female on the boat with the guy stuff. Just the nudity. Pull the curtain when you need some alone time by yourself. You pull the curtain too. It's all good. Engine's running.
I don't act differently when another female is aboard a boat. I think that it's exactly the same. It's just another crew member. That's all it is.
Do you think the rest of your crew would clean up? Because you got a kind of a wild crew. Would it make your crew more respectable? Would they shave?
No. Yeah, I don't think it would affect them at all. I mean, I was going to say the F word, but we got a little female in the form of a male on the boat right now.
Oh, I mean, if it was just a boat full of bros, of course I'd bro out, but I usually do anyways because it's my sister's. I have worked with a different girl that I'd never met before, and that kept the manners a little better, but I was still broing.
I don't know, I fished around with my little sister, and she had seniority over me on the boat, so it was kind of tough, you know, taking shit from your little sister.
10 years ago, I know for a fact that I used to pee over the side and not think twice about it. Now I have to remember what females are on which boat, so I don't make their father mad or embarrass myself. So.
Because why?
I don't want to answer that question.
Oh, you can't really walk around with your balls out, chicks on board. You don't do that a lot anyway, but you can still piss over the side, fart. It's fun. You can fart on them. It's kind of fun. All your stuff that you do with your guy friends when there's a chick around, you just keep doing it, and it's even more funny because it offends the shit out of them sometimes.
My greatest fear starting out fishing as a female would be that I would be treated either better or worse because I was a female. But I got on a boat that I definitely didn't get treated better or worse. I got treated just like the guys.
Do you think there'd be a female skipper here in the near future? Do you know anybody that's capable of running a salmon boat?
I believe within the next 5 to 10 years there will be several female skippers in Southeast Alaska.
You sort of fear that you're not going to be taken seriously, and which is huge, you know. I mean, you'd like to have some respect and some support, and I think that could totally change. There are a lot of females, you know, fishing now, and I think that there's a skipper, a possible skipper in the bunch.
I'm not going to say any names specifically, but I've been in this industry for a long time, and there's a couple up-and-comers, some hard workers. I think know a lot. I mean, within the last probably 5 years, the population of female crew members probably doubled up here, if not tripled.
What would you say to the first female skipper that corked you?
A lot of bad words. Lots.
Would you lose respect for yourself if the rest of the fleet laughed?
Yes. Yeah.
So it wouldn't be like another man corking you, it'd actually be...
It'd be a little worse.
That question really isn't on there.
No, it's not on there at all. It'd be a lot worse.
I don't think a female would actually have the balls to cork a male fisherman, honestly.
It's gonna need to be someone, you know, I think it might be a daughter, just because they can maybe
Inherit the boat.
And glean as much information and wisdom as they can. It's gonna need to be somebody that just has it in their blood and just, you know, loves the people up here, loves waking up at 4:30 in the morning, and they're gonna need some guts too.
Yeah.
They're gonna need some serious, some fire, some drive.
I think there will absolutely be a female skipper in Southeast Alaska.
You think you might be her?
I think that Allison on the Glacier Bay would make a great first woman skipper. I would love to follow her up as number 2.
That'd be fisherman family or somebody I'd watch out for. I think the fishing code is pretty close. I think even for a man, I think the female would even need a tighter bond with the fishing community to have a chance. And that would take a strong father figure, not a newbie.
I believe there are some females who do just as good as some guy skippers because they'll probably be able to get information a lot easier than a skipper would, a male skipper, through oral ways.
Like on the dispatch or CB?
No, like mouth to cock. that type of communication.
What would you say to the first female skipper?
I would say she's got balls.
Oh, what would you say to the first female skipper?
What would I say to the first female skipper? I'd say good luck, Godspeed, may the wind be at your back, and blow me. What'd you say to the first female skipper?
Good luck. Wanna fuck? What would you say to the first female skipper?
Keep those boys in line.